Hello, my friends. Since I left Europe, I look at things, I look at life with more serenity. I would like to share with you today this new way of seeing things. Because in Europe, we live in an anxiety inducing environment. We live in an environment where we always feel like a sword of Damocles is hanging over our heads. That something terrible is going to happen at any moment, which will sweep us all away. But in truth, when you look, nothing is happening. What we're actually doing is simply taking yesterday's threats, bearing them gently, forgetting them, then replacing them with others just to feel alive. Look, in 2020, they told us COVID was going to wipe us all out. We're all going to die, or at least that's what some people said. Some said the injections would be the end of us all. It's clear that neither one nor the other happened. 2022, Russia invades Ukraine. World War III is going to break out, a nuclear war. It's years and years later. I mean, there's no nuclear war, nothing at all, really. There was the Strait of Hormuz. Strait of Hormuz, you'll see there will be famine, war, there won't be any gas, stuff like that. The fact is, well, that's it. Life goes on as before. So actually, I'm not saying there aren't any threats, but I think that when you live in Europe, or when you take the European perspective, you get the impression that the threats are exaggerated, actually. Most of the time, nothing happens. Most of the time, the world adapts, the world changes the way it works, the way it does things, and then that's it, that's all. Some people talk about collapse. There will be a collapse. You'll see, it's going to collapse. Nothing has collapsed, no. Then in 2008, it collapsed. What happened? There was a collapse in 2008. And after that, what happened? Well, after that, we gave money to the banks. So we printed, we distributed, we created a couple of laws, then it started up again, right? That's all, right? Anyway, look, in the world, in the capitalist world, literally, there's a collapse about, it depends, every 4 to 7 years on average. So if you start shouting about collapse, I guarantee you that over 70 years, you'll be right 10 times. You know, you'll be right from time to time every now and then. But a collapse in the capitalist system isn't a total and complete destruction, it's just a reset. It's a bit like when you're at the table spending a winter evening playing Monopoly. What happens when Monopoly comes to an end? There's one person who controls almost everything. He owns all the hotels, interesting streets and properties. What do? The game becomes boring. It's no longer interesting to continue. It's no longer interesting to play. What do? We don't shoot all the guests, no. We're just going to take the Monopoly board. We're going to do everything. We're going to reset. We're going to start over. We're going to knock everything down like this. We're going to pick up the bills, put them in place, and then we're going to take the hotels, put them in the box and all that. And we're going to redistribute and start over again. That's exactly what the capitalist system is. When it reaches a certain level where it doesn't bring in more, it doesn't move anymore, it becomes boring, you see. What do? We do a reset. There you go. By a crisis. So sometimes it can even go as far as a war. You know, sometimes, I mean, the First and Second World Wars, the main goal was still an economic reset. You know, when you look at it, it's demonstrable. You see that, well, in 45 we started the post-war boom, while in 39 we were still in the Great Depression. What happened between 39 and 45? Well, there you go, the reset, the economic reset that allowed for the post-war boom, and well, that's it. As long as we can't do a reset with a world war, well, it's fine, you know, it's fine. It's just big news headlines. You know, if you don't watch the news, honestly, you'll just notice that mustard disappeared from the shelves for 3 weeks and then came back. You know, that's all you'll see. That's it, you know. Honestly, that's it. Today, let me tell you something. It's become very hard to predict the future, honestly. We can't even predict what's going to happen by the end of next week. Maybe by the end of next week, the world will be different. Maybe by then there will be a coup in some country. Maybe a president will have died. Maybe another one will have been arrested. You just can't know what's going to happen. Maybe a big bank will have collapsed. You can't predict it. We live in an unstable world. You have to take things as they come each day. Today we're here, we're breathing. The sky is blue. It's fine. We're enjoying and living it. We're taking it easy. Another time, there will be something else, like an atomic bomb. We'll handle it if it happens. There's no point in living through 1,000 atomic bombs in your life. I mean, if for 3 years, 3 years, 1,000 nights, every night you sleep, you think about an atomic bomb, you'll have lived through 1,000 of them in your life. See what I mean? Look at the one who lives through it. The person who faces the problem only experiences it once. And the one who is afraid of it lives through it 1,000 times. For 1,000 nights straight, you're scared of an atomic bomb. Potentially, we might not even make it. Someone who doesn't care will only notice it when it explodes, see the mushroom cloud, and live through it once. Okay? That's all. It's not worth it. It's not worth stressing over these things. Okay? Most of us live in another dimension. People say France is going to collapse, the European Union is going to collapse, this or that is going to collapse, the economy is going to collapse, the stock market is going to collapse. Yes, we've seen it, we know. But don't worry, we're not in the same dimension as before. That's all over. Stop with your logic, stop with your rationality. It's useless. Rationality is slowly killing you. Stop. We're in another world. We're in another dimension. We've entered it, you don't see it. So logic, rationality, mathematics, all that, it doesn't tell you anything at all. Okay? It's useless. Look. The USSR, you look at the USSR, an example, the Soviet Union. How long did the Soviet Union last? I'm not sure of the exact number off the top of my head. I'm putting my money on 65 years roughly. 65, 67 years, I don't know. Something like that, more or less. Let's say I'll give it to you with a margin of 7 or 8 years. Okay. Yet, 40 years before its collapse, if you read Soviet authors, you think this isn't possible, this system can't exist, this system is going to collapse tomorrow. You can read books written in 1951, but you think this can't be true. It's impossible for this thing to hold together. When they talk to you about political commissars, ideology, waste, all that stuff, right? You look at, I don't know, the outspoken authors, Zinoviev, well, he's going to tell you some crazy things. Like we worked, we brought in soldiers, thousands of workers, we cleared a field, we planted potatoes, we brought in commissars, we brought in the population, we gave speeches, all that. The potatoes grew nicely and looked great. We harvested them but threw them away because we had too many from doing this nationwide. You see, when you see that, you say to yourself, then add to that the censorship, the authoritarianism, the state lies, all that. Well, I'm not criticizing them. I mean, you know what I mean? We live pretty much the same reality everywhere today. But when you look at the Soviet Union in 1951, what do you think? You think it's going to collapse in 6 months. Okay, but no. It collapsed 40 years later. Okay, relax. There are plenty of people, I guarantee you there were people in 38 who thought the Soviet Union wouldn't last, that it was just a matter of weeks before it would fall. No? And it went on until, what was it, Christmas 91, something like that. All right, there you go. Yes, we have unstable systems. Yes, that's true. I agree with you. The markets are unstable. The European Union is unstable. France is unstable. There's nothing lasting in what's being done. There's nothing lasting. We agree. I agree with you. But deep down, is it going to collapse tomorrow or is it going to collapse in 60 years? We don't know. We don't know, huh? As that biblical passage says, watch therefore, since you do not know the hour or the day. That's it, that's all. We don't know the hour or the day. What are we going to do? I'm not one for keeping watch. I'm for living. We live, we relax. We can't control those things. There's no point in freaking out, developing anxieties, fears, depression, or worries. No, no. Either that or we live, that's it. The day you know, there's this, today I often think about that. I say it almost every day. As the English say, we cross this bridge when we get to it. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. There's no point in starting to say there's a difficult passage. You know, you don't realize that on the path we're taking, there's a passage that's very narrow, very high, and unstable. What is it? We'll cross it when we get there. When we see it, it'll be in front of us. We'll think about it and decide then. Until that day, we'll keep moving forward. I think that's the best attitude in life. And honestly, that's what I learned here in Mauritius. Honestly, on an energetic level, that's what I learned. I came here for the sea. I think I've been to the beach and swam twice in a year. So just to tell you, the sea isn't really my thing after all. I like to look at it, but honestly, when it comes to energy, you get the idea quickly. You figure it out fast. Okay, I didn't really come for that after all. Maybe I was drawn here by something else. I was drawn here for something else. I was drawn here to change my vision, change my perspective, become someone else, see things differently, you know. And I'd like to share that with you because I can feel that stress and anxiety just from the messages people write to me. And I understand them because I had them too. I had them too. I was a total worrier when I was in the UK. Really? I was stressed. I was all of that. Well, today, people are writing to me. You know, there's some kind of threat or other. Well, it's okay. It's not a big deal. They're adding a QR code, making a 15-minute city, and doing other things. I don't know. They're going to limit us. They're going to limit us to three flights by plane in a lifetime. Listen, I told him when we get to that day, we'll see what happens. We'll see. We'll figure it out. In the meantime, the flights are available. You go, you click, you buy yourself a ticket. Goodbye. And regarding the flights, you also notice that the media, because fear sells now, right? Fear sells. The media have developed an extremely toxic relationship with the public. The opposite is also true. I mean, the public is thirsty for bad news. Why? Because an anxious person, a person who is afraid, who is worried, needs to validate themselves, to validate their feelings through bad news. It's very important. And there you see, for example, like you have an airline that cancels 3 flights. Why? There's a strike at the airport or something, so they'll make it big news. Such and such company cancels all its flights until further notice at I don't know what airport. Why? It's a way of telling you, because for people who only read the headline, and unfortunately most people only read the big headlines, it makes you think, you see, there's no fuel, everything's messed up, it's over, we won't be able to travel, we won't be able to go out, we won't be able to. But no, just read the article. Yeah, they canceled the Friday morning 7:37 because there's a strike or something and they're having issues or they didn't get the slot or whatever. That's all, nothing, okay? For weeks, we've been told there will be no more fuel. In a week, in 10 days, there will be no more fuel. All aviation will collapse, will stop, and all that. Open flight radar 24, open flight radar 24. The sky is yellow. There are planes everywhere. Okay, yes, Royal Air Maroc canceled the Marrakesh flight. Yes, well, they canceled the Marrakesh flight. And after that, well, we'll go to India. What do you want us to do? You see what I mean? We have to stop, my friends. We're making use of everything we can. We're taking things that have always existed: strikes, unrest, shortages, price increases, bankruptcies, all that stuff. And we're mixing them together to scare you, to keep you afraid. That's all. That's what I'm telling you. That's how it is. Okay, so let's relax, huh? Let's chill, huh? Let's chill. Everything is just fine. Nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to collapse. Nothing is going to go wrong. You go to your room, you sleep, and you turn off the light. Everything is just fine. Okay, good night. See you in the next video. See you very soon.